I'm Celestine Rae. I studied with Terry about 10 years ago at the William Esper studio, and I have since followed him to the Terry Knickerbocker studio and have done several master classes with him. I'm an actress, I'm a teacher, and I've also done some directing. And right now I'm shadowing Terry to become a Meisner teacher at the school. It's really interesting because I wasn't sure what to anticipate, but what I've experienced is the same level of commitment, energy, and generosity from both Terry and the students. And you don't think that you can get that within a Zoom call, but it's so prevalent, it's there. And the opportunity for, I guess, more imagination, more creativity is also there because we're now working within different spaces. So it's so interesting to see the way that the students are transforming their spaces at home. And, you know, there was a moment in class where Terry joked around about, oh, you're in the kitchen and oh, you're in the bathroom. And there's all these different opportunities for more creativity outside of the studio that existed in the studio, but in a different way. So we're like reimagining the possibilities. I'm watching the students do that, and I'm watching Terry as well. And he's been so on point with everything that he's been seeing and he's been catching, and he doesn't miss a moment, even on Zoom. And so it's also created a sense of community for the students. It seems like it's a place where they can come to be anchored and to get back in touch with who they are as artists in a really important way, especially right now. I think of the Toni Morrison quote where she talks about this is precisely the time that artists go to work. And then she goes on to say, this is how civilizations are healed. And so I think about what our role is as artists in the world and how we hold up mirrors to humanity for others. And right now, I think we need humanity more than we ever have. We need to be in touch with it, our own, and the humanity of the people who don't live close to us, who live across the pond, who live in other countries, and how we are a global community going through similar things in different ways. And I think as an artist, to continue on with that journey in a trying time is really important because we're going to need our stories when we come out of this. We're going to need we need our stories while we're in it. We need to be in touch with each other and to tap into how we feel about what's going on and to be able to reflect on that in ways that make us grow, make us change, make us evolve. One of the things that I think that I'm witnessing is an awareness of like film camera technique. So you're seeing the students be aware of framing and lighting, and I'm watching it thinking to myself, oh, this is going to be really interesting because we don't know how long we won't be able to be in the actual space with each other. So it's really interesting to see how creative we can get within the frame. And I think that that's kind of becoming a second nature development as the students are creating. There is also this awareness. It doesn't seem like it's taking away from the work, though. It's not distracting in any way. It's becoming a new framework, a new form to work within. But the work is maintaining its authenticity within that framework. And so that's been really amazing to see. And I think we're going to see a lot of people we've already been seeing people create their own work, but I think the opportunities for people to create their own work are going to just expand even more after this. So much of it is the Terry that I know, but there is also a level of awareness that we are working in trying times. There's always been a generosity of spirit, but there is this extra layer of awareness. There's this extra check-in with, he's checking in with the students. He's making sure that they're understanding what he's saying, that he can't feel them physically in the room. So he's making sure that you're with him throughout the class. And he starts every class with hello friends, and it's just kind of this invitation that we're all in this room together, a virtual room, but we're all in it together. So it's very inviting. He's very inviting. When he needs to, he leans forward to make sure that you're getting something. It's different ways to make people feel him physically. There are things that I see him doing. He's adopting as well within the framework, but he's definitely the Terry that I remember when I was a student. I'd say why now, because why not now? I mean, it's all about perspective. So the way that you look at a situation is going to determine what you get out of it. And I think if you have a craving inside of you to start something, if you believe that this is something that you want to explore, then there's no time like the present, because the opportunity to do something will always be kind of nagging at you. You will always want to pursue it. And so to put it off in hopes that there will be the right time, there's never a right time to start something. And you just have no idea what you can get out of a situation in the moment when you just take that leap. And I think that online learning has so many opportunities. The fact that you don't have to be in New York now to take a class with Terry Knickerbocker, that's huge. I mean, that's changed the game. You can be anywhere in the country now, anywhere in the world now, because now we have that opportunity available to us through technology. So that's why I would definitely say don't wait. I mean, especially if you're someone who's been wanting to take class with Terry and you are not physically in New York, I would jump on this opportunity. Absolutely. This studio and Meisner technique in particular has been so useful for me personally in my work. It's been the toolbox that I always return back to. Whenever I'm kind of looking to explore something new, I usually come back to Terry and take his master class. If there's some part of me that I want to work out that maybe I'm not doing in my professional career, that I'm like, hey, I really want to try this character, I know that there's space for me to do it with Terry, and I know that he's going to push me and that I'm going to grow as a result of that. And Meisner technique to me has just gotten me so in touch with who I am as an artist, and also it's made me so aware of my partner and the other person. That idea of put your attention on someone else, put your attention outside of yourself, is also extremely useful for me right now in terms of what's going on in the world. For me to take my attention off of my own feelings and to consider someone else's, it just increases your empathy muscle in ways that you don't realize. And so that's what's constantly being worked whenever you're doing Meisner technique, is you're constantly being aware of, how do I feel about this, and how does the other person feel about this, and where are they at? And I think right now we need more people thinking that way. So I also am like very like team Meisner because of that, and team Terry also. I mean, for the working actor, I think training is always a positive thing to do. I think for me personally, I've been really listening to my inner voice, and I've been really listening to what it is that I want to do, what it is that's making me excited. What are the plays that I've always wanted to read and that were sitting on my bookshelf and I haven't had the opportunity to pick up because I've been working? What are the characters that I want to play? What are the stories that I want to tell? I think that's really important. And I think training just pulls you back into the reason why you originally started doing it. It takes the industry part of it out, which I think in some ways is such a relief to kind of take a break from that. We can all just pause for a moment on the hustle and get back in touch with the love and the reason why we all started it in the first place. So for me, I would say for the working actor, training also brings you back into community with other artists. So you feel like you're a part of something as opposed to an individual auditioning for the same thing. That we can feel like we're holding each other up in the moment. And yeah, I think being in community is super important right now.